Welcome to Edwardsville here on a Sunday afternoon. It's the final home game for SIUE. It's the second to last league day of the year. It's the SIUE Cougars and the Morehead State Eagles here from Edwardsville. I'm Joe Pott, joined along by Daniel Rodier. And Dan, for Morehead State, it has got to be wins and wins. They have got 2 games. They've got to win them both to have a chance to get into the OVC field.
They still have a chance, but they're not only going to have to win themselves, they're going to have to get some help from around the conference. They also need some help from their defensive backs. Let's take a look at our players to watch. They're presented by Jostens, the official recognition services company of the OVC. For Morehead State, it's Hannah Burke. Hannah Burke has been a big individual factor for Morehead State, but she's also been a good disher. Here, she's getting a good pass off a first touch, find the open target. She's done that for the primary portion of this season.
For the SIUE Cougars, our player to watch here this Sunday afternoon is...
It's Allie Fishering. Allie Fishering, the senior on senior day, has not had all that many stats, but as a left back who does not play all that much offensively, that's perfectly fine. You'll see it right here. As a defensive highlight, this is one of the better ones. She steps up, gets involved in the play, and immediately tracks back. She's the one close to your screen, really the individual who just needs to get back in time, now approaching the defender and holding him off. That's all you need to do if you're a defender, is slow the play down, especially on possible fast breaks. She's been extremely good at that. The senior out of Lake St. Louis, Missouri, has played all but 13 minutes in their Ohio Valley Conference.
We've got the starting lineups and the opening kick coming up for you. It's SIUE and Morehead State, and we're coming back after this on ESPN.
Number 2, Zoe.
Are you ready to take your money to new heights? Get a flexible high-yield checking account that lets you customize your interest rate so you can keep your finances headed in the right direction. With Elevate Checking from United Fidelity Bank, you're in control of how much you earn. You can raise your rate with a few easy steps. Get more ways to earn more with Elevate Checking and start earning 4.00% APY. Learn more at unitedfidelity.com/elevate or visit your local banking center.
In Kentucky, we're moving forward together. Our businesses are winning, and our families are thriving. Because Kentucky is a place where business is fast, but the pace of life is just right. Now, we're looking at a new Kentucky, one where good jobs and a good life are possible for everyone. Y'all interested? We don't blame you. So come explore your new Kentucky home.
What's it like to be a student athlete in the OVC? We rise to challenges and challenge others to rise with us. We show respect. We lead by example. In the OVC, we become champions on and off the field. That's OVC Sports, and you've got to OVC it.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
Member FDIC. Ready for a local getaway that feels like a world of its own? Escape the ordinary and discover the charm of Southern Illinois. With local wineries, live concerts, farmers markets, and scenic trails to explore, there's an adventure tailored for every taste bud and passion. Our breathtaking lakes offer endless possibilities for adventure. Rent boats, jet skis, or kayaks, and explore our world. Visit Southern Illinois. Start your adventure today.
Back in Edwardsville, where the Cougars huddle right outside of their bench. Morehead State has yet to break their huddle yet. Let's take a look at today's starting lineups for both teams. First, for the visiting Morehead State Eagles and their head coach Paul Cox in his second season as the head coach.
The individual I want you to look at on this side for Morehead State, that's Lily Burt up top. She's gotten the nod for the start today. She's going to be an impactful part as an extra holding midfielder if they need it. On the Cougar side, it is not only largely unchanged, it is unchanged, period. as a squad, they've looked really good, and it feels like head coach Derek Burton has gotten a lot comfortable with the current position they are in as a squad. Zoe Boomiller back on the left wing. Again, the lack of Amanda Dean has forced that case.
Derek Burton, of course, in his 18th season as the Cougars head coach, as he tries to get the SIUE Cougars back into OVC tournament play, and they are certainly close to clinching that berth. In fact, we'll probably know much more at the end of game play today.
Morehead State getting ready to go, and this is a game where they need to pick off a couple early goals if they can swing them. Take a look at our starting goalies. They're presented by Kentucky Tourism. Come explore your new Kentucky home. We'll start things off for Morehead State. That is Claire Kress, who has not played in the last 2 games. She's not gotten a nod until this matchup. She's a sophomore out of Berea, Kentucky, with a .714 save percentage. Few early goals against as we kick things off.
Morehead State in the solid blue kits here on this Sunday. SIUE in all white.
For SIUE, it is, as per usual, Sarah Bozeman, starter and junior out of O'Fallon, Missouri. She's 3rd in the conference in shutouts, and especially against SEMO, they had their tie for 3rd at that point. They really needed that victory and were able to do so in a doubleheader there with the men back on Thursday.
Now the Cougars trying to make it 2 wins in the week for SIUE. This one's out of play. We'll go for a corner for the Cougars here in the early going.
Pretty quick starts for both the men and the women here. Men with the win over Incarnate Word. First 6 or so minutes, action-packed there. Can't expect anything different here. Wind is blowing as per usual.
There's an in-swinger right at the near post, and it's pushed out of play. So, again, the wind is howling right now. It is straight out of the north, so it is literally right into the face of Claire Kress and the Morehead State defense. That's why that ball absolutely whipped in at the near post. Here comes the second consecutive corner. This one, back post, and it's punched away. We're going to do it again. I'm telling you, the wind is playing absolute havoc with this. They're going to switch it up.
Elena Hauser is headed in that direction. She was ready to take it.
Now they're going to go this way, I think.
It should be on the right.
Near side.
They were just trying to figure out who's taking it. This time it's going to be Claire Naroda on the close side. Naroda with her first 2 goals.
I don't know how you determine that should have been on the right. It was almost center of the goal when it went over.
The referee gets to pick. So they'll take advantage of the wind again. This time Naroda with the left.
Yep, try to swing it in this direction. Near post again. It actually glances off the goalpost. Chasing it down on the backside was Boomiller, but it's out of play first, so SIUE will throw. Try to get it back in the corner. It doesn't matter. It's poked out of play, and another throw coming up.
They play all of those corners to near perfection as well. What you do is you elevate the ball as much as possible, allow the wind to bring it in. It forces the goalkeeper to hold her line, not allowing her the freedom to move as she would like, and then you still get that opportunity in the back post without the goalkeeper in as much of a dangerous position.
Oh, Imig almost had a rip right there. She just didn't get it away in enough time. And now Morehead, I thought, would be looking for a counter-attack, but SIUE able to hold on to it. Boomiller brought it all the way back. Now we might get the counter from Morehead State. Push it up on the right side. That is Burt all the way up on the right. Player that Dan mentioned specifically when talking about the starting lineup, that she was going to be that extra offensive punch for Morehead State.
Already getting help from Hannah Burke. A few assists thus far in the season for her. One that you didn't see against Tennessee Tech. She took a swing from just behind midfield and got it to within the 6 where her teammate one-tapped it to the back of the post. Really good play there in that Morehead State Tennessee Tech game, which you can check out on ESPN. All these games are archived for up to a month, so get your viewing in while you can. Some of our early conference matchups are starting to expire, which kind of hurt me when I was watching back some of these Morehead games. Looking for all the information possible. Had a quick conversation with the head coach, Paul Cox, there in his second season at Morehead State. He originally told me they were lining up in a 1-1-8. They said they needed goal scorers, although he was
awesome.
Entirely kidding.
I would love to see that. Morehead State has been to the NCAA tournament each of the past 2 years. They won the tournament in 2023. They lost the tournament final in 2024, but they lost to Lindenwood, who, as a transitioning school, was not eligible for NCAA competition, and so Morehead State went to the tournament last year as well. Lost to Florida State in 23, lost to Wake Forest last year.
Imagine getting Florida State and Wake Forest back-to-back first-round draws.
Yep.
That's just got to be painful.
And undoubtedly on the road. So you're playing those two schools in their home parks, in their home stadium. This is Babb tracking back for SIUE. That's out of play.
Fishing a good header up to Imig, just escaped under her foot. Reset to the midfield. Imig trying to make up for it. She does twice over, then with a teammate.
Boo Miller on the right side. Trying to get it to her right. Couldn't get it. I don't think she kept it in. Yeah, she did keep it in on the end line.
These two teams have a long and storied history. Let's take a look at our series history. It's presented by ServPro, the official restoration services partner of the OVC. SIUE leads 11-4-2. However, neither of the most recent two meetings have gone in their favor. A 1-1 draw last season in the regular season in Morehead, and 2 years ago, the last time it was hosted here in Edwardsville, before that was 2021, was an 0-2 loss for SIUE. All in all, they lead, as you saw, 11-4-2.
Derek Burton, in a former life, was an assistant coach at Morehead State. Got his graduate degree from Morehead State.
First foul of the game. Adam Dries is our official in the middle. I know Ben Koenig is
Glad you knew that, because I don't know who it is. Adam Dries?
Adam Dries, D-R-E-E-S. Worked with him a couple times. Benjamin Koenig is the far AR. He's been here a few times. Although I do not personally know the AR1 or fourth official. I'll get those for you in just a minute.
Claire Naroda with the left foot into the box. Not quite clear yet. It's coming right to the top. That is Ava Lewis getting her head on it. But here comes Morehead State tracking the other direction. Allie Fishering pushing it ahead. And it'll drift out over the end line. It'll be a goal kick coming up for.
I think they called the foul that would have initiated the goal kick.
Oh, you're right.
Officials getting involved once more. It is Benjamin Koenig, the far AR. Don Tebow is
Tebow.
I
should have realized that.
AR1. And Kyle Swanner.
Oh, yeah.
Last name sound familiar by any chance? He is our fourth official.
He's an SIUE. I don't know if he's an alum. He played here for a year after starting his career at Missouri State. Dad was a heck of a goalkeeper on the indoor side. Won a championship with the St. Louis Ambush.
And he went to Edwardsville High School. Thank you, Mr. SID Joe Pott from 2017.
My pleasure. I didn't realize it was that long ago.
That's when he was a true freshman. He did play for the St. Louis Ambush, by the way.
Kyle did as well?
Mm-hmm. Man. And
That was the new iteration. His dad played for the original St. Louis Ambush.
he graduated from Quincy University.
Okay.
And actually transferred out to Lewis and Clark before that.
Man.
SIUE, Lewis and Clark.
Took a tour. Didn't he start at Missouri State?
No, it doesn't look like it.
So he came to, maybe there was another Swanner that had gone to Missouri State. So he started his career at SIUE.
Yep.
Okay.
Although he never played a game in his freshman season.
So now the Cougars with an opportunity after locking one in there. Savannah Defini couldn't get the cross in, but will earn a corner for SIUE.
Another good opportunity for Defini, but the lack of players around her really handcuffed her to either taking the shot on or attempting to earn the corner. There she puts on the brakes, allows the defender to end up behind her, but still not having the angle to goal, knows she's taken that shot with the intention of scoring the corner rather than probably not scoring a goal.
Naroda can't keep this one. She can't keep the ball where she wants it on that corner.
We need to get the holder. Where's our holder for the NFL kickoffs? Immediately have to run off the field?
They've done a good job on corners so far, putting them in dangerous areas. This one's going right for the near post, but it's snatched by Claire Kress as it came up near the crossbar.
It was Anna Zakella who ended up stepping into the front post. She just kind of stuck her foot out, and it rolled up her foot. Pseudo deflection, can't really call it anything that she was exactly trying to do on that front, but it worked almost anyway. Well held by Kress, but could very well have been dangerous.
Now it's Morehead State on the push the other direction. That's Burt on the far side, and she could not keep control of it. It'll go for a goal kick for SIUE.
Hannah Burke, our player to watch, starting in the right back position today. You'll see her flex to a little bit more of a center defensive midi when they have control on the weak side. That's what we just saw there. She's who put it over to Lily Burt. Burt dribbled a wee bit too far in the corner, wasn't able to handle it after that.
Pushing forward again. Taken away, and they eventually turn the other direction. Defini gave it away, and then the ball over the top is to no one in particular.
So we had a conversation with Claire Kress, whether it was going to be her or Sofia Rodriguez. Last couple games, Sofia Rodriguez had gotten the nod. And in my prep coming into this game, I was thinking it should be, or would imagine it would be, Sofia Rodriguez. In the last 4 games, she played all but the 80 minutes against Tennessee Tech. It was Kress who got the start there, allowed 4 goals, and was pulled with about 7 or 8 minutes left. Officially, it was Rodriguez who played the last 7:35, but she played all 90 against Eastern, all 90 against Little Rock, both at Eastern and Little Rock, and then when they hosted UT Martin, an 0-2 loss, played all 90 there. So it's Kress back in the starting lineup. Not a whole lot of changes apart from really that and the aforementioned Lily Burt up at the top. Morehead State is seemingly comfortable with where they are right now. A much younger team than most. Speaking of, let's take a look at our keys to the match. They're brought to you by German American Bank, technology backed by people at the German American Bank. For Morehead State, speaking of, play above your class. Only 3 seniors on the roster. Today, they're starting 7 underclassmen. A young team, which for today may not be the most positive thing because it's a lot of younger players, maybe less experience, but could be a better thing overall for Coach Paul Cox, who said, Yeah, I lost almost 10 players in the portal. I said, yep, welcome to 2025, unfortunately.
Isn't that the truth?
SIUE on the other side finished strong. Here, their last home game is nearly a senior or a true freshman was able to pick off a goal. That was Claire Naroda who took the shot. It's their last home game. Might as well try and take full advantage of that fact. Babb for Ava Lewis. Just a game of pass inside the triangle for SIUE. Babb is able to earn the throw. Good win for Naroda. Just has to play it back to Babb. First attempt did end up out of play, so SIUE loses a little bit of an opportunity there. I'm surprised they didn't try and immediately touch and cross, or at least try and switch the field. Not a whole lot doing there. Babb did save it that time around. Now to Naroda. Now comes the switch. Mary Claire Immig looked like she was looking for Elena Hauser. Neither of them on the same page.
That's right on the sideline. It will finally get out of play.
Good sectioning off for Allie Fishering. Bodying Lily Bird off the ball and promptly taking the throw in while Bird's still on the ground.
Kress couldn't quite keep that in play. Ava Peck came back to try to get it, but ultimately it was out for a throw. The Cougars throw quick, but not much doing on the throw either. It's Bonsheim bringing this one ahead. Right through the middle comes Pepper. She'll carry all the way to the right. And her cross is right off the forehead or the face of...
That's Audrey Roberts.
It is Audrey Roberts, you're right.
Roberts was trailing over. Allie Fishering had her backup for the possible play through. And again, good spacing for the back four of SIUE. Roberts on the ball, Zakella behind her, trailing the center attacking midfielder, if needed. All in all, the back four for SIUE has looked probably the cleanest in these last couple weeks that they have all season. And they're continually showing that here and now. Morehead State in this 4-3-3, they're attacking in the 4-3-3, even with a fourth attacker if need be. The only real adjustment to that when they head back to the defensive side is Kennedy Beccaro, who is among those front three. The senior transfer from Sam Houston State will trail and play a little bit more of a defensive holding midfielder if needed, kind of assisting and building out of the back if required. They'll play a temporary two-front and turn that into something a little bit more offensive over time. Naroda had some help with Savannah Defini in front of her, tried to force him to play back and into Defini. Unsuccessful in that endeavor.
Just inside a half an hour to play here in this first half.
SIUE leads all but one, or all but two of the overwhelming statistics in the game thus far. Boomiller sectioned off and well there by BB Bonsheim.
Comes right back down to Naroda. Naroda was the goal scorer on Thursday night here. And she's got a chance. She took a left foot shot and it was blocked. She just tried to one-time it back in on goal. This is Immig now. Out wide. Lots of room there. Boomiller will send it in on goal herself. I think she was probably looking to cross it, but again, anything's going to carry that direction, and it carried right to Claire Kress.
Got to love the wind. That's the opening there for SIUE, where Boomiller had a chance. Another chance for Naroda here that got blocked out by Hannah Carter. Not only did it get blocked out, Carter cleared it herself, the former Missouri State racer.
Murray State racer. Missouri State Bear, Murray State racer.
Murray State racer, yeah. Foul called right in front of the SIUE bench. Early substitution being prepped here for Morehead State. Jade Walton, native of Arlington, Texas, is getting ready to step in. The true freshman, no less. Not sure what Coach Paul Cox has seen in these first few minutes, but it is something to warrant a change.
25 minutes to play in the half. Bab. All right, should say, not Bab. I should say Anna Zakella putting that in the mix. It's out of play. We're waiting for the Morehead sub to come on. And Walton will check in now.
Morehead State substitution number 19, Jade.
Despite the fact she's a true freshman, she's had a decent bit of time played this season.
She's coming in for Burt.
I'm a little surprised it's Lily Burt who's pulled off pretty early, although it seems like that was the replacement Lily Burt was in for. Last 6 games were starts for Jade Walton up top, so Burt getting the nod was maybe a temporary solution. Maybe for Paul Cox it was
she's like the opener.
Evaluating. The opposite of the closer, it seems. Couple elbows being thrown. I can't imagine we escape this one without a card on either side, if not for both.
Charlotte Lee is really ticked off, too, just pleading her case that she wasn't the only one, but she is the only one that's going to get the yellow.
Here's the replay. You can see she's very strictly held, it seems, and an elbow or two thrown. I believe it was Mary Claire Imig who threw the elbow. Can't imagine that Charlotte Lee is too thrilled about that. The Aston Villa Academy player out of Nottingham, England. It's the first booking.
Boo Miller with the free kick right on goal. Knocked down by Kress. She gave up a short rebound. And SIUE went to pounce on it, only to have her grab it again. And there's a Cougar player behind the play.
Looks like either
Boo
Elena
Miller,
Hauser or Zoe Boo Miller.
I think it's Boo Miller.
No, Boo Miller's standing right next to it. It is Elena Hauser. Hauser looked like she was reaching in as the ball came in. Zoe Boo Miller is the one who took the shot. A decent idea for SIUE. Boo Miller, usually you're seeing Anna Zakella try and loop one in. They put Anna Zakella in the mix and tell Boo Miller, hey, take a shot on. Maybe take advantage of the wind circumstance they're currently facing, they being Morehead State.
Leah Meinhardt's up off the bench. Jalen Javins is the athletic trainer for the women's soccer team, tending to Elena Hauser.
We can at least take a look back at the shot that led up to this. Again, it was just a shot on, really, rather than a cross or attempted clearance into the box. You'll see this from Boo Miller. She just swings and puts it on goal. There was the reach out from Hauser. Maybe a trip over a different player. It's not Hauser. It's Audrey Roberts.
I was going to say, I knew it wasn't Hauser. I could see 3. That's interesting.
Cougar substitution number 4, Aaliyah Meinhardt.
Roberts favoring that left leg. She is at least on her feet in some capacity, which we love to see. And
Morehead State substitution number 3.
So Meinhardt's going to come in and go to She's going to go into Boomiller's spot. Boomiller's coming back on the back line.
So a couple weeks ago, we had this conversation with Zoe Boomiller, was our player to watch here from Cordy Stadium. Boomiller's previous start was on the back line for the Cougars. Then she started getting time up at the top 3 as the Cougars are still in that 4-2-3-1 formation. So what'll happen, as he mentioned, Boomiller will step from right midfield, or right wing if you want to call it that, to the right back position, which she is more than comfortable in, and Aaliyah Meinhardt will step in and take over the right wing duties.
She actually took the left back spot, moving Babb into a center back spot.
Yes. That's right.
That's right. You're right. I'm wrong.
Yes, Taylor
the right back spot,
Taylor Babb,
moving Babb into the center.
Yes. So Zakella had been previously playing the right center back. Now she is the left center back where Audrey Roberts previously occupied, and it is student body left for the Cougars, including for Allie Fishering, who's trying to hold this off from a corner. She can swing it. She will. Goal kick. Well done from Allie Fishering in the corner.
We'll give you any update we we get on Audrey Roberts, or let you know. Certainly, obviously, what we hope to be able to tell you is that she's checking back in the game at some point. She's being evaluated on the sideline right now, so we'll see what that looks like.
It's a big loss for the Cougars, who had already had some weaknesses on the front line because of some injuries.
Ooh, that slid right to the top of the 18. And the shot just wasn't there for Kennedy Beccaro. Today has been Sisters Day here, or I guess Siblings Day would be more accurate. We had 2 sets of siblings of brothers on the men's UIW team. That one spinning right into the 6. It's going to get through and get out for a goal kick coming out for Morehead State.
Good fight for Ava Lewis, but she was just kind of outmatched. Seemingly a stronger play from BB Bonsheim, who was matched up with her on the cross. Lewis had it sail right over, and Cougar couldn't catch up. Good attempt for Defini. Nothing doing there. So to continue the issues for the Cougar backline, because they're already having some injuries on the front line, they're forcing an extra sub in, losing an extra rotational member on the front line, and forcing the defense to play without their core 2 center backs who had started and played basically every minute of the season. Audrey Roberts and Anna Zakella have been shoulder to shoulder for virtually the entirety of 2025.
Well, and really all 4, because Babb has started all but 3 games. Fishering has also started all 16 games. Now, those 3 games that she didn't start, or at least one of them, Boomiller started back there early in the year.
Yep. That was when they, according to Derek Burton, were virtually interchangeable at the time. Then they gave Zoe Boomiller more than nod for the offensive side. Now, because of the formation SIUE plays, she will still be in a wing-back type position, especially on the weak side of the ball. So this isn't abnormal entirely, even for recency bias.
Good touch right in for Jade Walton, who plays it right back outside. They're trying to feed it out to Peck now. Peck with the cross attempt, and it was outside, or it was blocked out for a corner kick. Easy for me to say.
The minutes conversation for SIUE, 14:31 for Anna Zakella, 14:38 for Audrey Roberts coming into this matchup.
So Kennedy Beccaro will take this corner. Beccaro will put it right at the edge of the 6. It's knocked out of play. It'll be a goal kick coming out.
Hannah Carter with the attempt from the front line, the Bowling Green native.
There is Sarah Bozeman.
Will force everybody to about face. See the collage of players just off the right side of your screen. Vertically all within 20, 25 yards of each other. Horizontally all within 15.
It came right off of Kennedy Beccaro. Her twin sister is Cameron Beccaro. On the opposite side of the field.
Another forced win. Lena Hauser that time around. Defini tried to flick it on, looking for Naroda. That's how Naroda scored just last week, or 4 days ago. Couldn't do it there. A lot less close to goal as well.
They'll play it short this time. Olivia Lowe brings it out to this near side. Bonsheim had it stuffed, and here comes Claire Naroda the other way for SIUE. Naroda feeding Boo Miller, who couldn't keep it in, but earned a corner.
Unfortunate timing for Boo Miller. Maybe would have had a cross there. As she was setting up the run, looked like Naroda was going to check in and go for goal. So Boo Miller slightly put on the brakes. And unfortunately, she did so as Naroda was playing the ball through. Sped right back up, pedal to the metal, earned the corner. There is a small gathering inside the 6-yard box. Oh my goodness.
So here it comes. Again, right for the near post. It is not cleared. It's finally cleared back out. Boo Miller able to lock it in. She'll put it on goal. It's knocked away. Now Kress is out of the goal, and it's another corner coming up as that one went off low. We've got another SIUE player down, Defini.
Defini was winning the header, and as she went in, looked like she and Kress both made it to the ball at the same time. Looked like Defini is getting ready to get up under her own power, and she is. So collision both with the upper and lower body as her and Kress. Both her and Kress are in the vicinity of that one.
So there you see exactly what happened there. And Kress got up pretty quick. Defini did not. Here comes the corner. In on goal again. Naroda's going to put it back in the middle of the box. Cleared ahead this time. Now it's Morehead State looking to make a break here. Nice cut to the right by Pepper. Faith Pepper's got some room into the box. Pepper almost overran it. She's trying to get it to her left. She got a shot away, but Bozeman is there for the play.
Fishering on 3 separate occasions forces a change up the right side for Faith Pepper. And it's speed that can kill. It's also speed that can save. If Fishering doesn't end up turning on the jets as she retreats, she was already beat once. It would have been Pepper free on goal in a 1v1. Fishering makes her turn into 3 separate Cougars, herself included. Is able to help hold that one off. There's a reason she was our player to watch as a defensive player. And as you ever so eloquently put over our PA during Senior Day, she's only got 4 shots on goal. She's still one of the better players here for the Cougars, and that's 4 shots on goal in her career.
Here comes Morehead State again. This time played outside. That is Carissa Vela, by the way. Carissa Vela.
A little back heel, gets it to Hauser. Hauser's now building through the middle. Leah Meinhardt the target, but unless Meinhardt strapped a rocket to her back, she was not getting there.
She was not going to get to that. You're correct.
There was a chance, albeit minimal.
Meanwhile, Imig trying to turn this up the right side. It's going to roll right to the corner and get out of play on the sideline. Morehead State wants to bring on a sub as well.
Morehead State substitution number 20, Carly Thurman.
Carly Thurman, 5'6", out of Bardstown, Kentucky. She's on for Peck, I believe.
Yep. Feeney again looking for Naroda as a trail. Couldn't get it to her. It's like, almost able to cut it off, loses the touch.
Morehead State working the other way with Walton leading the charge. She'll play it out. Then a pass right over the top that Bozeman's going to get to fairly easily. It was way out in front of Thurmond.
Looked like that may have been a shot, but the wind just shut it down as soon as any air got under it. Bozeman able to pick that one off pretty easily. If it was a cross, it was only helped by the wind. If it was a shot, it was only hurt.
This one finds its way to Mary Claire Imig. She'll shoot it up to DeFeeney. DeFeeney on the right. Quick cross right to the 6, and the rebound is put over the top, so Claire Kress actually collided with her oncoming defender.
It was Hannah Carter who had it go right against her. You'll see it here. Good ball across by DeFeeney.
It was. Carter came in and basically intercepted that pass, but knocked it right back out.
And it sounded like Kress did call for it, but she called for it really late. Got to give your defender probably half a second to put on the brakes. Wasn't able to do so, and could have been costly. Shot on, fortunately for the Eagles, clears over the bar.
Morehead making he has and Hauser just ran into the back of her defender.
Hauser just kind of ended up over top after the slide went Morehead State's way. They'll happily take possession there because I don't think it was a guarantee. Another good win there for Jade Walton.
12 minutes to play. 12:15 to play here in this first half. A scoreless first half for the moment. The Cougars have had some opportunities. Morehead State's made a couple of counter pushes, but really no true opportunities. SIUE's come up with 3 shots on goal here in the first 45 minutes, and I would gather that at least 2 of those came on a couple of corner flurries early in this first half. Rhoda working there against Beccaro, Kennedy Beccaro. Spins twice. Finally gets one into the box. DeFeeney with a header, and it just goes off the top of the bat of the goal there.
Taryn Moore will enter here. To a round of applause from the crowd, she'll take off Elena Hauser. Round of applause is for a very good reason. The senior out of Wildwood, Missouri, went to Marquette. Has been a big factor of the Cougar midfield for a decent bit of time here in Edwardsville.
That one there run down by Kennedy Beccaro. Babb steps up to take that pass away. Right up 2 more. Taryn Moore for DeFeeney. DeFeeney will backtrack. And Imig's going to try to switch fields. Too far out in front.
Seems like Imig's trying to take a page out of Savannah DeFeeney's book. Instead of playing as many balls straight through everybody, looking for the ball on her feet and allowing the team to catch up with her in the process. Although I don't think she's communicated the fact she took a page out of Savannah DeFeeney's book to the rest of the team.
That one's picked off. Vela will just put one into the box. The flag is up on the far side. Carly Thurman got a step behind the defense.
Good spacing for the back four of SIUE. Looked like Zoe Boomiller was alongside Thurmond. Took 2 steps up, realizing I can quickly play my own offside trap as the furthest back defender. Does so and successfully. Morehead just to reset through Kress on the back line.
Naroda spinning against Beccaro. Cameron Beccaro. And she pokes it away. Beccaro does. She's got it up ahead to Pepper. Trying to turn it back into the middle. This is Walton. Walton will give it right back. Pepper with some room on the right side. Sets up for the cross. Got it too far. Wind carried it out of the 18-yard box. Morehead State keeps it. This is Bonsheim who will put it back in, and it's headed away by Zakella. More again. And it'll roll all the way across the far sideline.
It looked like Naroda forced contact there. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a Cougar throw. It is. Quick deliberation amongst our officials, and SIUE is going to win that throw. Good body contact by Claire Naroda.
Olivia Watts into the game for SIUE. Molly Tappick is into the game for Morehead State.
She'll take over Faith Pepper's duties up the right side. Looked like Adam Dries in the middle overruled Benjamin Koenig on the far side. So it was Morehead to hold the throw.
Now it's Naroda, though, for SIUE coming from the left. And she had it taken away. And back the other way comes Morehead State now. 7:40 to play in this first half. Looking to get it to Walton. Couldn't get it through to her.
Good win by Watt. Not only winning the ball, but getting around the defenders just to hold on to it.
That's going to go as a Morehead State foul, though looked more like Vela, and Lewis just kind of got tied up there right at midfield.
As Lewis was trying to shield and hold off the ball, Vela, while trying to get around her, just kind of pulled her to the ground. Good win there for Lewis. She was either going to win the ball or win the foul. There really wasn't going to be anything in between. And Zakella can very reasonably get this inside the 18. With the wind, no less. Watch out for Defini, maybe Taryn Moore.
Here it comes. Bounced right at the 6 and bounced right out of play.
It did get inside the 18. Unfortunately, not to the outside or the opposite side of the midfield vertical stripe.
I think that while, yes, you like having that wind at your back, it also makes it hard to control. Like you don't have as much control over what you're doing with a kick, even with the wind at your back like that.
Sometimes you feel like it's a mental boom of trying to overcorrect, trying to correct properly, especially for Zakella, who can do that without the wind. Now she's got to mentally adjust for the wind and probably overdid it just a little bit. Feeney's up the left side. Naroda may do it herself. Now she gets dispossessed. What a tackle.
Moore trying to take it back for SIUE. Meanwhile, Tapek able to turn it away on the other side.
That was Hannah Burke, by the way, with the tackle on Naroda. Naroda had an option to her left. Took a couple we'll say few too many touches.
Haley Repreza will come on.
It's Kennedy Beccaro that she replaces. Cameron's still playing the center defensive midi / right back position for Morehead State as it stands. Moore again the win. Naroda tries to win the 50-50. Eventually gets it with some help from Moore the second time around.
With 5:20 to play, does SIU have another push? They'll go back through Babs. She goes over the top. Defini in the neighborhood, but not close enough. And it's Vela trying to pull it out. She got it over midfield, but was met there by Zakella.
Zakella puts it over everybody, and I think it's just more of a reset for SIUE than anything else. Naroda up the left side probably wouldn't have had the easiest ways at that one.
For the SIUE women's alumni, please make your way to the Red Storm sign at approximately midfield in the grandstand. Once again, SIUE women's.
So with Olivia Watt entering,
please meet at the Red Storm sign in the grandstand.
And SIUE moving Naroda over to the side. It's Taryn Moore who's taken up the center attacking midfield position, and Claire Naroda who's more of a left wing where Hauser was. It's been the case for a couple minutes, just really now they got back into a true formation to pick it up here.
Moqua's coming on as well here for SIUE for the last few minutes of this first half. Meinhardt comes away with this one. Aaliyah Meinhardt for Savannah Defini. Defini with the left foot blocked. Zakella. And Fishering will serve it up.
Ava Lewis, the header there. Defini was trying to win the header down in the corner. They may have another chance at this. Meinhardt's going to give chase. Has Taryn Moore behind her for support, who's now going to get the ball.
Lots of room for Lewis. She'll spin it around for her right. Right back to Meinhardt. Meinhardt got the cross in, but nobody there. She put it right on the near post.
Said it was a lot of room for Ava Lewis. The problem was there weren't a whole lot of options for her. Everybody in the midfield was covered. The only good option was turn and give it back to Meinhardt in that general area. Meinhardt did about as much as she could with it. I think it would be Amokwa taking over the left wing duties from Claire Naroda. Give her maybe a break at the tail end of this half, if not Aaliyah Meinhardt.
I wonder if it's not Savannah Defini.
Anybody on the top three.
We referenced this during the men's game, but these are teams that are playing second game of the weekend.
Yep.
So your sub patterns change, and as you noted in the men's game, it probably becomes more frequent substitutions.
A little chilly as well.
Sure, yeah.
Officially 61 degrees, but with the wind chill, it's probably feeling like low 50s.
Good throw right to the edge of the 6, and turned out for another throw coming up.
So you would like to get these subs in just to get a couple minutes of a break, especially while playing defense, but a couple Morehead State throws are going to disallow that. Tape pack to take this one.
Only 2:20 left.
Finally, it looks like the Cougars will get that opportunity. I wouldn't be surprised if it's both Meinhardt and Defini here.
Kira Kumada is coming in, so. And then Omokwa.
So close.
Naroda off, Defini off.
So it is Amokwa for Naroda. She'll take over the left wing duties, but Kumada and Taryn Moore will basically play as two alternating front midfielders. So instead of a 4-2-3-1 right now, SIUE's playing more of a 4-1-2-4 with the lack of Defini to be the solo striker. I like the adjustment for the Cougars, especially given a couple of those players who have gotten their steps in, especially an extra break. We call it a longer halftime at that point. Morehead State's not taking this one to half just yet, though. Another chance up this side. Missed opportunity for Boomiller. Could have cleared up to Meinhardt, but puts it out of play.
Just about a minute to play here in this half as Amokwa comes away with this one for SIUE. Amokwa will bring it across midfield. Akila Amokwa still with it, trying to get it to the corner, and backtracking and pulling it away was Hannah Burke. .35 seconds to play as the Cougars throw it in. This will be last chance effort here for SIUE. Good throw, looking for more at the edge of the box. It's flicked into the box. And now we've got a shot that deflects off the post. It got under The Morehead State goalkeeper Kress, it hit the post, it stayed out, and it stays a scoreless game as we go to break. And they're going to look at it.
Wait a second. They're going to take this
They're going to look at it.
And I think we're going to have a chance to do so as well. They signaled for VAR. This is the first time, to my knowledge, VAR has been used. That one looked like it was saved and then put off the post. So they'll take a look at it.
Is it a challenge in OVC play? Now I can't remember. I
do not believe there are challenges in conference play. To my knowledge,
so
as a matter of fact.
So it's an official.
Yeah, I didn't know. We had this conversation when conference play started because the women weren't using it in out-of-conference play. The men were, but there were no challenges. When play started for OVC play, we had the conversation of whether VAR would carry over, and to my knowledge, it was not.
Well, no, only on the men's side it was not. The women's side, I think it was I think it's a challenge.
Well, if you're going to use a challenge, a goal line opportunity is a very good opportunity to use it. We can even take another look at that play.
I think.
See what the verdict from our camera angle was. It looked like saved off the post and no good. I think that'll carry over as well. There's nothing inside the goal that would repel the ball back out except for spin. And I don't think there's enough spin that a goalie can put on the ball from that close, especially at that slow of speed, to do it. There is Adam Dries taking a look at, as funny as this may sound, the iPad to figure out the result. Would be a very well-timed goal for the Cougars heading into the break. The signal was put up before halftime officially hit, although semantics really wouldn't matter. Looks like the call officially will stand. I believe the amount of time was the signal that Adam Dries just gave Paul Cox and company for Morehead State.
So 4.1 seconds goes back on the clock.
What's the restart here? I did not see what the result was after that happened. It's a throw-in for SIUE, and at this point, this throw, barring Zoe Boomiller putting it into the back of the net off of a different player, is just a formality.
3, 2, 1.
So that will officially end the first half now. After looking at the possible goal at the end of the half, and then finishing out the play there, finishing out that result of that play. That'll be the end of the first half here in Edwardsville. We'll take a break. We'll come back here to Cordy Stadium, where SIUE and Morehead State are scoreless as we go into the break. We're coming back here to Edwardsville after this on ESPN. It's halftime in Edwardsville, where SIUE and Morehead State are scoreless after 45 minutes of play. Welcome back inside the booth here at Cordy Stadium. I'm Joe Pott alongside Daniel Roedier as we take a look at some halftime stats to get you started here. They're brought to you by United Fidelity Bank. United Fidelity Bank serving their communities since 1914.
All in all, it has been the SIUE offensive show. The Cougars really leading things through a difficult day for Kress, where she's had to battle quite literally with Savannah DeFini, close quarters and from far out. 4 shots on goal for the Cougars, 7 shots total. Morehead State just 1 and 2 of each, respectively. But it has still been SIUE leading in the corner kick battle. I feel like this is a conversation we have every week, or depending on the day, every other week. And the men's team leading in a lot of corner kicks against Incarnate Word. That's the same thing here against Morehead State. Morehead State running foul of the offside line a couple times and running one more time a foul total.
Scoreless, though, in the category that counts. Let's take a look at some other goings-on in the Ohio Valley Conference. This week's news and notes in OVC women's soccer.
Filling the net, it's OVC players who have recorded 16 multi-goal games. That's both in and out of conference play. For Eastern Illinois, it is Alex Teta still coming up clutch. Entering the week, she ranked 9th nationally in game-winning goals. And as mentioned many, many times throughout the season, the 2025 Ohio Valley Conference Championship is set for October 30th through November 9th. However, the locations and that conversation is not determined yet. We can take a look at what the next week looks like around the Ohio Valley Conference. And at this point, it is a lot of question marks, quite literally, for these teams. Could be for Lindenwood and Little Rock a bye decider, who gets the top seed, who gets 2 byes rather than just 1. And Eastern Illinois and Tennessee Tech, the same case. It is a lot of possibilities for these rosters, but not a lot of guarantees.
We'll take a break here in Edwardsville, where we're at halftime. It's a scoreless game between Morehead State and SIUE. We're coming back with more before we get to the second half. Joe Pott, Dan Roedier coming back on ESPN.
Back in Edwardsville, still drawn even at 0. It's halftime here between SIUE and Morehead State. Let's take a look at the standings in the Ohio Valley Conference. Still only one game to play for most of these teams. There's only one game that has yet to be officially reported apart from this one. That's the Tennessee Tech SEMO game. It started at 1 p.m. These are as of, we'll say, 1 or so p.m., maybe 2 p.m. Central Time today. Little Rock picked up a win over Eastern Illinois. That puts them up to 18 points. The one part that hasn't really been updated is the Tennessee Tech SEMO game. That actually has wrapped up. Tennessee Tech is alongside Little Rock at 5-0-3. They both entered this week at 15 points and tied for second place. Eastern Illinois, with a loss to Tennessee Tech, is now in third place with 16 points. They're tied with Lindenwood for third. Southern Indiana in fourth place with 12. UT Martin with 9. They had a draw, Southern Indiana and UT Martin did. Not great news for SIUE, or Southern Indiana lost to Lindenwood. UT Martin had a draw with Western Illinois. Not great news for SIUE, but the best possible scenario for the Cougars as of right now, because of some tiebreakers that they're facing, is 5th place in the conference. There's no possibility that SIUE hosts the first week of games, so at that point, not a lot of guarantees for them on the horizon. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedules. They're presented by Sunbelt Bakery, the tastiest flavors under the sun. For Morehead State, it is a host of SEMO and then the Ohio Valley Conference tournament. That is assuming they make it into the top 8. There's no guarantees there. Western Illinois right behind them with 1 point. Morehead State with 3 as it stands in the conference. For SIUE, their lone game remaining, it is not an easy one. A team they entered the week tied with, that's UT Martin. That'll be October 26th at 1 p.m. UT Martin's final home game of the season, unless they end up winning out after that. We'll take another break. When we come back here on ESPN, just about ready for the second half kick.
Get all of ESPN College Soccer all in one place with the all-new ESPN app. Unlock with the ESPN Unlimited plan or log in with your TV provider.
You're going to need it for this next week of Ohio Valley Conference play. It is all 5 games are slated for within 65 minutes of one another. Little Rock at noon, Morehead State at 1 p.m. alongside UT Martin. It's Morehead State hosting SEMO, UT Martin hosting SIUE, Tennessee Tech hosting Eastern Illinois. That's all at 1 p.m. And just because Western wants to be cool, they've got Southern Indiana at 1:05 p.m. Central Time. Yeah, they're special. It is a big week of Ohio Valley Conference soccer, not only here for the men's or the women's side, but for the men's side as well. They've got just 3 games remaining in a less action-packed schedule, less teams on that side. All in all, whole lot before the fall season comes to an official close. And don't forget, the Ohio Valley Conference tournaments are still on the horizon. Tail end of October is when the women start. First week of November is when the men start. Here from Edwardsville, we're back off and underway for the second half of action. Still 0-0, and I got to say, not for the lack of trying for the Cougars.
SIUE in white, Morehead State in the blue. SIUE is working from right to left here in our second half.
They were trying to work right to left, but Kira Kumada, gets tangled up with a Morehead State defender, and they avoid what could have been a very dangerous first 45 seconds or so to the second half.
Claire Kress with now the wind at her back as she drilled that one well over midfield, and then it's turned the other way, way up into the corner by Hauser. Now Emig able to lock that in before she gets a little bit of a touch, and it's going to be a foul right outside the 18-yard box.
We'll get a pretty good look at that here. Didn't look like there was a whole lot to it. And I'd say you could see as this play ends, there's a tap of the left shoulder from Carissa Vela. Basically to say, hey, that was shoulder to shoulder. And I don't think she's wrong. Whether it's a foul or not, I'll leave that up to you to decide.
I don't think it was up to either of us to decide. I think it was Adam Dries who had decided that.
Officially, he's the only one with an opinion that matters.
That's exactly right. It's absolutely the truth as the free kick comes in from SIUE. On goal, near post, nicely played by Claire Kress.
Speaking of Adam Dries, by the way, we had a conversation with him as he walked by us in the press box here. I asked him, hey, did you call that, or was it Derek Burton who called for the challenge? He goes, nope, that was on me. So it was officially an official review. No challenge on that front.
And that's the goal, or the non-goal, by the way. That was what they were looking at. That is actually a huge advantage to where where we are compared to where the officials are, because it's not the first time we've been able to confirm or ask a question of the officials as they are coming up at halftime, which is awesome because it just allows us to be 100% accurate when we're relaying to all of you watching. Here's Hauser from the left side, looking for a cross. That's going to be a corner. That is going to be a corner. It rolled right out, tapped the corner flag.
Quite literally a lucky bounce off the corner flag there for SIUE. Maybe a couple inches separating that one from being a dangerous corner or a fairly benign throw.
Right.
And Hauser will take it. She does so mostly from this side as it's an in-swinging kick against the wind.
So it's floating back post. Taylor Babb on the backside will chase it down for SIUE. Babb will play it towards the corner, looking to get it back to Naroda. Naroda stops it from getting out of play right at the corner. Then she gets a cross in. Tafini had a little redirection, but she was well off the mark.
Good header for Vela to clear it out from danger the first time around. Nice cross from Naroda. The unfortunate part there for Savannah Tafini is she's well in front of the front post. She was probably even with the 6-yard box. There's not a whole lot she could have done with that redirection to add some speed to the ball and make it difficult.
Bozeman's got to come way out to deal with this. Yeah, in that position, that's a good point. In that position, it's not as if you're going to be able to redirect it behind you, which is what you would have to do to get it to that near post.
Best case scenario for Savannah Tafini there is a touchdown and maybe a pass, maybe a turn and shoot, but inside the 6 you don't have time. There wasn't a good option there. I think she took one of the better ones in just trying to redirect it and hope something works. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Sometimes you miss the shots you do anyway.
The throw coming up here. It's Hannah Burke, by the way, with that throw for Morehead State. And another throw coming up at midfield for the Eagles. Again, there's a very real chance that Morehead State goes from back-to-back NCAA appearances to not making the OVC tournament this year. It could be that kind of season for the Eagles if some things don't happen. Here's DeFeeney. Look at DeFeeney breaking out. Savannah DeFeeney is, just playing it across, and then the shot from Naroda. I didn't realize Naroda was there when DeFeeney let the pass go. She gave a good pass to Naroda. She just didn't get enough on the shot.
Dream scenario there for Claire Naroda. Savannah DeFeeney had it on her left foot. There wasn't a whole lot she could have done with it. We'll get a look at it here.
I literally was like, what is Savannah DeFeeney doing, only to realize that Claire Naroda was running on.
Well, we had this conversation before. DeFeeney's right-footed. And as the lone striker, sometimes she just ends up on the left side, has to do something with the ball. She doesn't get a good shot off from a left foot, especially from that distance. You're probably looking at a 20-foot shot. A lot of left-footed players aren't getting a good shot from that position. So what she does, she finds a better option. Don't force it into a shot where you can't have a good shot at it. Give it to Naroda, who is perfectly fine with both feet, and put another one on, put a reasonable opportunity on. Naroda had basically a 1v1, unfortunately put it straight to Claire Kress. And credit where it's due, a really good save from Kress.
So Naroda now will take this corner kick from the far side. 8th corner of the day for SIUE. 8th.
I'm hesitant to say that's it.
Right to the top of the 6. Not cleared. Babb pulled it back before trying to put it back in. Fishering goes over the top. The header comes right down to the top of the box. The flag stayed up from the AR on the far side. Now Morehead just trying to bounce it out of there somehow. This is Fishering again trying to pressure the ball back in. By the way, the Cougars still without Audrey Roberts, which leads us to believe that she's probably not going to return in this game. She spent a long time on the training table on the sideline.
Speaking of.
She's out in street clothes.
And crutches.
Like literally the minute I said that, she came out of the locker room. So sorry to see that, and we hope that it's nothing serious, but it certainly appears that there will be no return of Audrey Roberts today. Again, she just came out walking with the help of a pair of crutches in street clothes. So here come the Cougars again. I don't think there is any contact there, although Claire Naroda might want it.
There was contact.
Might
just
wish there was.
Nothing there for a foul. Great poke free by Boomiller.
They tried to force it through, right.
Nobody was there to help her. Fishering was the last defender back, so everybody was onside because of Fishering on the close side. Fishering would have won the race to the goal, but it wouldn't have been an easy one. Here's another instance up the left side. Does the wind take this one out of play? It is blowing, as you can see, for the corner flag on the far side.
The cross was there, but nobody was there to receive.
You were talking about the switch for Morehead State from back-to-back NCAA appearances, albeit with some help from a transitioning Lindenwood school, to maybe not even making the OVC tournament. Again, conversation I had with head coach Paul Cox before this one kicked off was he lost 10 players to the portal. And transfers are transfers, especially in a mid-major conference. A lot of your players are just going to exit stage left.
DeFeeney with a little flick off to Kamada, who tried to get it back to DeFeeney. Now Imig will keep it in for SIUE. Imig out to her right. Naroda to receive. Naroda with the left foot puts it in the 6. Partially cleared. Naroda back in. That's going to That's going to come out on
That
the
is a
sideline.
throw.
I don't know.
I can't believe it.
It's crazy.
And that is a very valid shot on. It's not like you could say that that's missing by a mile either. It was pretty close to being on target. And it doesn't even go out of play.
It spun out for a corner.
You'll see it here. That's close to the back post. It stays on the line.
Look at it ride that line there at the end.
That's so impressive. And not impressive to any individual.
Seriously,
Mother Nature's got something running here. Voodoo magic. Something Houdini is in the air, maybe?
Man. Well, this one won there by Morehead State by Walton, and then pushed out wide, and it's Pepper out wide, but it'll run out of play, and Pepper will throw, or the Eagles will throw, rather.
Hannah Burke specifically to do so. Native of Warrington, England.
And Burke's going to lift this one into the box now. Good header, right on, handled by Bozeman.
Good cross from Burke. The problem with that header from Carissa Vela is she didn't really add anything more to it. It was really just using the power of the ball rather than adding some force behind it herself. A standing header. Didn't really go her way.
Morehead State coming back the other way. And, man, Pepper wanted it. She was trying to signal to feed her through, but they didn't catch up, or they didn't catch the signal. This one will find, Hauser just had a good opportunity and just could not control the pass back into the middle. Kumada for DeFeeney. DeFeeney cuts it back, leaves it for Imig. Imig's going to send it through the box. Naroda couldn't get to that. It is going to be.
Look at the wind.
That might have gotten the. Did it get the corner flag?
It got the corner flag and then went out for a throw. That's absurd. We have a perfect angle from here, and basically from where our cameras were as well. It was rolling straight to the corner. You'll see it here. It's rolling straight to the corner and then just, right turn right over the flag. Sure. Cougars should feel robbed off of what probably could have been a goal kick earlier, turned into a throw, maybe helpful there. The wind giveth and the wind taketh away.
So here comes SIUE again with Imig. Across for Hauser. Hauser will cut it back to her left and then back again to her right. She'll send it that corner. Naroda again. And she couldn't catch it this time, and it was taken away by Kennedy Baccaro. Did a nice job defending. Where's that? That might be Bonsheim out there. It was 18 or 10. So you have younger eyes and binoculars. Tell me.
Looks like 18 to me.
Okay, that makes sense. Bonsheim started out there. Here's a rip, by the way, that just misses from Elena Hauser.
I've process eliminationed it. It is
and 18. I've got 10 right here. Yep. Makes sense. Kennedy was playing more up in the middle, and Bonsheim was playing on that left outside back to start the game. So would make sense that she is there again.
Hauser trying to win a foot race to the line. She won't be able to do so. But at this point, SIUE just in the middle of making adjustments as a squad and adjustments individually. While Audrey Roberts has returned to the field, she has not returned inside the touch lines. So just to kind of catch everybody up, she had a injury inside the 18 fairly early in this one, and that was the Morehead State 18 on a counterattacking or a corner opportunity. Forced Taylor Babb to move from right back to center back. Zoe Boomiller from right wing to right back. And now in the second half, Kira Kumada is playing the center attacking midfield role that Claire Naroda previously occupied, and Naroda's now on the right. A lot of changes forced here for SIUE. They seem to be adjusting to them well. So too does Kira Kumada.
Defini almost had a break-in on goal. She does keep possession. She lays it off for Hauser. Hauser back on her right. She'll put one towards the back post, but too much on it.
Looked like Hauser wanted a shot there, if anything else.
Here comes Aaliyah Meinhardt into the game. Kira Kumada will step out.
Wouldn't surprise me if Meinhardt goes over to the right. You can see Claire Naroda ever so slightly making her way towards the center. That is the case.
And Dan, this goes back to exactly what you were just saying, right?
Yep.
Because since you've been using Boomiller up there on the right, you haven't needed this kind of rotation up there as they have now, as they have today,
Yep.
because they're adjusting to ultimately that change.
And as what has been largely the same unchanged for most of conference play is forced an adjustment here for SIUE.
Here's Pepper trying to get in the box.
Fishering stepped in from in front. That was Mary Claire Immig, the center defensive midfielder who sprawled out to the turf. She's back on her feet. Good defensive stand by the back 4.5 if you count Mary Claire Immig.
This one finds Walton right at the top of the box. Walton will get a left foot shot away, and he was handled by Bozeman.
A speed reduction here for Bozeman as well. SIUE with a couple counterattacking opportunities thus far in the season, and really thus far in the match. Initiated by Bozeman a couple times over.
Third shot on goal there for the Eagles here this afternoon. And they've got a chance again. And it's going to come right out here to Pepper again. Pepper all the way into the corner with it. She sends it into the 6, and Bozeman, how about that? Bozeman came off her line, reached, and stole that ball at its apex, right at the top, making sure it wasn't coming down, wasn't going to bounce in the 6, and it wasn't going to be a dangerous opportunity for Morehead.
What a hop up for Bozeman as well. Not only fighting with Anna Zakella, arguably the tallest player on most fields, but two with Jade Walton, only listed at 5'5", but she has the hops like she's joining the WNBA sometime in the next couple weeks. Good high point there for Sarah Bozeman.
Absolutely.
And a big save in a game that stays just barely tied. Would have been another shot on goal, probably a goal at that juncture.
That's one of those plays that if you're not watching, you don't see it in the box score. There is no box score that says stole a cross out of the air,
Yeah.
right? There's no stat there. It's not
a save.
Technically a save, right? But you and I know, and those watching know, exactly as you said.
Yep.
If she doesn't make the play, it's sitting there at the top of the 6 and a grand opportunity.
If it is the wildest swing of stats, because she makes the play, it's not a stat. Crosses aren't a stat. Saved crosses aren't a stat.
That's a great
Nothing.
point.
If it is,
if it's not played,
it is the most important stat.
Probably a bunch. Yep, you're right.
It is an assist, a goal, the goal as of right now.
Yeah, that's all true. So a really good play by Sarah Bozeman.
And a really good setup for Morehead
sure.
State up the right side. Again, Faith Pepper, a perfect cross, the true freshman out of Matomidi, Minnesota.
This is Defini now. The cross might have been deflected, but it ends up rolling out to the top of the box. Not out of danger yet. Boomiller comes racing in on it. Now they've got to correct. There's only 3 back, and Mary Claire Immig falls back into the back line.
That's so good.
It's going to skate through.
So Sarah Bozeman will play the ball and be able to pick it up eventually. Would have been offsides because of Allie Fishering. Fishering understood she was the last person back for probably 5 yards. She not only put on the brakes, but took 2 or 3 steps forward, knowing Walton wasn't going to be able to get a good touch on for another maybe half second, 2 seconds. Fishering, if it was a dangerous ball, which it wasn't, would have been offsides. Because it wasn't, Bozeman was able to help maybe build out of the back. There's a reason Allie Fishering's such an elite left back.
Pepper again.
There's another.
She's knocked off the ball. Walton's got it. And Walton got it taken away.
Mary Claire Imig.
That's at least twice now that Imig has come back to correct on the back line, too, when Boo Miller made that run up just a little bit ago.
Here she is again.
Imig who dropped back. Now this time it's going to turn into a corner.
Corner kick, Morehead State.
And I wonder where the collection for SIUE ends up. For Morehead State, it's only their third corner compared to the 8 of SIUE. Correction, this is just their second corner compared to the 8 of SIUE.
Kennedy Beccaro will take it for the Eagles.
It's like a basketball inbound at the penalty spot.
Beccaro to the spot. It's coming out up top, and a shot. Low drive back in, and Bozeman with the diving play. That's an excellent shot that I think came from Bonsheim.
It did. Not only that, but it's an excellent shot through traffic. That's an elite save from Bozeman. It looks like, oh, yeah, a line drive from 25 yards out. That's an easy one. If there's any time inside that shot between it going on goal and in her arms that she can't see, that is time that the ball could be spending moving around, deflecting, Bozeman having maybe to second guess. That is a great save through so many players in traffic. By my count, there were all but 3 players on the field inside the 18. Those 3 were the player taking the shot, the furthest retreated defender from Morehead State, and their goalkeeper.
Hard to go low, too. Hard for a keeper to go low, especially when you're trying to find that ball in traffic.
Again, really good on both sides. And SIUE earns a foul there. Jade Walton apparently did not hear the whistle of Adam Dries. Is like, wait, I fouled her? Looked like she just was pulling back maybe Taylor Babb. Maybe Zoe Boomiller.
24 minutes or so to play here in this ball game. A scoreless game. Shots are 12-5 in favor of SIUE and 6-4 when it comes to shots on goal, but nobody has found the ultimate shot on goal.
There have been a couple pretty good efforts early in the second half for Morehead State. SIUE a couple opportunities as well.
And they'll try again. Again, it's Pepper. She'll turn it to the outside, and Imig able to step in front, almost took it away. Instead, Burke has it, and they couldn't do anything with it. It's out for a corner, though.
Imig got tied up. The turf monster got her. She was turning around. Could have been a clearance for Imig. Instead, it turns into a corner off the legs of Claire Naroda, who doesn't seem to be thrilled with the fact it went off of her. A couple subs will now enter.
So Thurman back in for Morehead State. Olivia Watt back in for SIUE.
Thurman will retake Ava Peck's position, which we saw a little bit, and Olivia Watt conveniently for Mary Claire Imig. Especially after Imig had a couple really good plays in the defensive mid.
Taryn Moore will come in next. First, the corner comes from Beccaro, Kennedy Beccaro, just outside the 6.
Same thing.
Yep, another opportunity. Low drive, no, a little higher this time, but either way, Bozeman had it eyed up the entire time.
Good patience from Bozeman. Didn't rush herself out to get the ball. Didn't rush herself through the collection of the ball either. Doesn't allow a rebound. There were a couple Morehead State players who were onside when the shot was taken, but were still well beyond the last defenders when the save was made that would have been in good position to deal with that. And a miscue there for Sarah Bozeman after a pretty good couple saves.
You're right.
It's a throw that kind of turns the momentum back in favor of Morehead State, if anything else. Hauser with one wid. Can't double it, but she's got some help.
Guess what? Pepper again, driving down the right side. Her cross went off the back of Anna Zakella. Walton trying to come away with it. Taylor Babb does. Babb pushes it out for Hauser. Hauser shoots it up for DeFini, and DeFini going to try to run it down, but it's just shielded out of play by Carter.
Burke, I thought, was taking a very easy handball call, but no, it was just a throw from Carter to Burke to take the throw in.
Walton pushing it outside, and a foul right afterwards. So as soon as she got rid of the ball.
Of the difficult foul calls our official will make today. That is not one of them. Watt just kind of tries to cut in front of Jade Walton. Not well after Walton released the ball, but certainly after she did so.
That one's coming right to the near post, handled again by Bozeman. That one came from Burke, and is that Burke who's down?
Yeah, it is. Burke seemingly made a collision with a player on her way through as she was turning.
After she took the shot?
Yeah, after she took the shot. Her left ankle seemed to be the problem point.
Well, the good thing is she popped up pretty quickly afterwards. She stayed down for a second, but she's still definitely feeling it.
And this is where, as a player, you really don't want to rush through this. She hasn't been substituted out
trainers out, yeah.
At that point, if you're Hannah Burke, you'd love to keep playing. But if you take a minute or so off, you can get a quick one-for-one sub, take a minute, make sure you're all right. If you rush through this, it could hurt a lot more later. You'd rather avoid that if at all possible. Bozeman will get the restart with the ball in hand. Just a drop ball to her. Looked like Burke just gave the thumbs up to the coaching staff of Morehead State. Although, I don't see a substitute making their way over. So she's going to stand at midfield about the same time that our referee, Adam Dries, drops the ball to Sarah Bozeman. He should be beckoning her on. Eventually, when SIUE breaks their small committee meeting.
I think that's a large committee meeting. I think it's all 11.
So a very temporary playing with 10 players for Morehead State.
It's a big as a committee meeting you could have out there.
And there's the wave. There goes Hannah Burke. So she is back in play. Morehead State spent all of about 0.8 of a second at 10 players.
Meinhardt couldn't chase it down, and so it'll be a throw coming up for the Eagles as we get to the 20-minute mark here in the second half. Scoreless game from Edwardsville. Final home game for SIUE. The Cougars will finish it up at UT Martin next Sunday. Morehead State will finish it up at home against Southeast Missouri State next Sunday.
It's an awkward time of day at this point for both of these teams. Late afternoon on a Saturday is usually about the time you're starting the first game of doubleheader on weekdays. And with sunset being 6:15 or so here in Edwardsville, that sun's going to keep setting just to our southwest as the fall continues to wean away and the winter starts to become more prevalent. That's in the eyes of Claire Kress, should the ball be coming from this direction.
Well, and realistically, most OVC schools don't have men's soccer, so they're not playing doubleheaders anyway. They're not playing an early start anyway. Their starts are probably, 6 or 7, depending on whatever their choice is. Free kick is coming from right outside the arc. Right out from the arc, right-footed Kennedy Beccaro is going to take it for Morehead State. Here it comes, and it's high. She sailed it over the crossbar. It'll be a goal kick to restart it for SIUE as Moore and Amokwa check back in.
So Amokwa back in for Elena Hauser, and it is Taryn Moore for Claire Naroda. Now at this point, Olivia Watts, the center attacking midfielder, if not one of those center defensive midfielders, Moore at the center attacking midfielder. Back to how those subs usually take over for SIUE. This is more of a comfortable position, it looks like, for them. Wind not enough to help that one out. It is still very windy here in Edwardsville. They're buried down in the corner.
SIUE going to try to break out with something here. Defini just kind of tapped that back into traffic. basically gave it back. And on this right side, it's Burke charging forward for the Eagles.
What a
and
steal.
a Mokwa over to take it away, and Burke ends up flat on her back.
Burke looked like she's still favoring that same foot. I wouldn't be surprised if there's another chance where she just needs a minute to breathe.
So for the second time in a matter of minutes, Hannah Burke is on the turf. Again, the Morehead State athletic trainer will come out and take a look and examine.
Last time around, it seemed to be more of a cramp, if not kind of rolled over something, if anything else. This time she is not immediately returning to her feet.
I mean, you certainly hope that's
Yeah.
what it was, but I'll be honest, Dan, I don't wonder that if the first time, as you said then, do you come off, get evaluated, and perhaps you avoid this second issue, if it's the same thing. I mean, obviously we don't know that, but you wonder, as opposed to going right to the sideline and coming back in, if there had been a little bit of an evaluation there, if maybe you don't avoid, something different.
I feel like we had the exact opposite conversation when we were about to start the men's game here. Second half of a doubleheaders, SIUE men's soccer took on Incarnate Word. Remember Zach Renz casually breaking his hand in the middle of play.
Which we didn't realize on Thursday night.
Which, in all fairness, it's difficult to tell if somebody broke their hand because it's a game you play with your feet. And at this point, it seems to be a little bit more reasonable for Hannah Burke, maybe a lower body injury, where in a game you mostly play with your lower body, you're going to realize that a little earlier. But Renz, what he did in the game on Thursday was he got injured, got fouled, got injured, evidently broke his hand, kept playing, and then promptly scored because
the only goal of the game.
Of course.
And the first of his career.
Yeah, that's about the time you want to score your first goal.
Exactly right.
So while playing through adversity, or in this case, maybe injury, is certainly admirable, we hope that Hannah Burke takes the time she needs to make sure she's okay.
Haley Repreza just came in, and now SIUE makes a change as well as Mary Claire Imig comes in for Ava Lewis. But the throw is coming for Morehead State. Repreza will throw it. She's got a good throw. It got into the penalty area. And Zakella tried to clear it. Couldn't get it all the way out. Pepper almost had an opportunity within the box. This one's put right back in over the top, and Bozeman is on it again.
Good call off for Bozeman as well. Zakella was ready to play that because Jade Walton was still in the area. So Bozeman makes the sprint out, calls off Zakella, who then disengages and allows her goalkeeper to take over. That's a really good couple of plays for Anna Zakella and a good individual play for Sarah Bozeman.
This one bounces over the midfield, and look at the room that that Aaliyah Meinhardt has. Taryn Moore will come back and get it. Moore will send it into the edge of the box. Meinhardt couldn't keep it. It's out of play, and it's going for a corner. The 9th SIUE corner of the afternoon.
BB Bonsheim trying to shield that one out of play, wasn't able to do so. Aaliyah Meinhardt just kind of gets around her, puts it off her foot, if not forces her body into the ball. At this point, SIUE, they've got the wind going out from goal and an out-swinging kick as well.
Might have been headed just a bit by Zakella. The Cougars do keep it in. Watt trying to get to the end line, couldn't do it. She was defended well. It's out of play.
Watch for Fishing to take this quick. She does.
She got it right back in the box for Taryn Moore. Back for Fishering, who put it across the 6. It'll get all the way to the end line, and it stayed in play.
Meinhardt in position inside the 6-yard box. Good shield. Looked like it was from Cameron Beccaro. Here's the opportunity across from Fishering. Meinhardt was in the area, couldn't get it there. And as play restarts, goes out for a Morehead State goal kick.
And that ball taken away by SIUE. Zakella stepping up to hang on to it. Now Moore had it taken away, and here comes Pepper the other direction. Across midfield, she'll put it over the top. The only one there was Boomiller, who headed it away. They'll go back to the right side, looking for Thurman in that corner. Thurman turns the corner, almost had it. They'll play it back out. Meinhardt had a little traffic there. She finds DeFeeney. Nope, that's out of play. Eventually, nope, never did get out of play.
Magic how that happens.
DeFeeney almost put it out of play. She'll get another chance, racing down the right side. Savannah DeFeeney pushing it ahead for Amokwa. Amokwa shields it out of play for a corner. That's number 10.
That's got to feel weird for Savannah DeFeeney, though. She's usually the lone striker and just played it up to somebody.
Correct.
It was Amokwa who took over for her because DeFeeney had to go all the way to that right side. They virtually rotated positions in a small diamond. DeFeeney from striker to right mid. It was Aaliyah Meinhardt who virtually moved to midfield. And then Amokwa from the weak side left midfield position went straight to the top and earned the corner. You said it, 10th of the game, and it's Boo Miller again to take it.
This one a little bit deeper than she wanted it, or I should say maybe more shallow than she wanted it. It went too far out of the box. Babb is going to put it back out to Boo Miller. Boo Miller trying to get to the end line. Short cross, front for near post. Poked wide by Taryn Moore.
It's the advantage of having a right back that sometimes plays right wing back and has recently played a lot of right mid. She's very comfortable in an attacking position. Aaliyah Meinhardt was still well inside the area. Moore was the target. DeFeeney was behind her. But Moore was in a similar position to DeFeeney earlier. Front post, maybe the deflection goes on goal, but you're doing it from a blind position. Only so much you can do from there.
Twelve and a half to play as Morehead pushes the other direction. Still scoreless. This late in the match, that'll get through for Bozeman. She has a lot of touches today. She has 6 saves today, but even more than that, balls like that right there, like the cross that we talked about earlier.
A couple SIUE subs making their way to midfield, and who you can just barely see under the covering is Hannah Burke, who is reporting back more than likely to her defensive duties. Here are those subs. It is a small army of substitutions. There is Burke to re-enter. She will retake the spot that Repreza previously held for her.
Hauser, Norota, and Kumada are all back in for SIUE.
Taryn Moore, Aaliyah Meinhardt, and Amokwa all stepping off. So the front four is back as it was at the start of the half. Kumada, the center attacking midfielder. Hauser to the left. Norota to the right, again with the lack of Boo Miller. She's on the defensive line. And as per usual for the front four of SIUE, Savannah DeFeeney up top. Another ball up the left side could be dangerous. Depends on the speed. A 50-50 ball could go the Cougar way. It does. Way to get back there by the aforementioned Zoe Boo Miller. Matched up against Thurmond up on the left.
11 minutes to play here in this second half. Is there a late strike in store for someone this afternoon? Good turn there by Walton, and then the shot goes wide. Another sub on for SIUE as Ava Lewis is back on, and she'll take Watt's place in the lineup.
Again, SIUE virtually back to the way they started, minus Audrey Roberts, both in the first half and on the season, at least the conference season. Again, this is the final game of the Ohio Valley Conference Women's Week. Little Rock a 1-0 win over Eastern. Lindenwood 2-1 over Southern Indiana. Tennessee Tech 1-0 over SEMO, and Western Illinois drew even with UT Martin at 1. Good news for SIUE because they entered the week tied with UT Martin, but they may end the week tied with UT Martin. Both teams with a win back on Thursday, and early indications would lead to you believing both teams with a draw here today. Or late indications at this point. I mean, there's less than 10 minutes left.
Indication. That's right.
Again, those two meeting next week.
But you'd pull yourself 1 point behind Southern Indiana with a win this afternoon if you're SIUE.
What would be really funny is if they play each other, they could be in a position where they play each other again the week after in the first round of the playoffs because they're currently in positions to play each other in the first round of the playoffs. Walton's pass gets cut off.
Morehead was trying to put something together, and now chasing it back down is Kennedy Baccaro. Oh, just a right foot on that from Walton to keep it briefly before SIUE is back to take it away anyway.
Babu just kind of shielded Walton away, let Zakella take over for a second. Ball was 4 Naroda, never got there in time, or got too far for that matter.
Molly Tapek back in the game for Morehead State as we get down to the final 9 minutes of this one.
Carly Thurmond, the player off.
And the clock is stopping because we are in a tie game, so that doesn't matter right now who subs. They'll stop the clock. Good throw right to the edge of the 18. Kumada comes away with the second ball ahead for DeFini. And a little shove will be a foul on Morehead State. SIUE will restart things just inside their half of the field. We're down to 8 minutes to play here in the second half. Boo Miller with the restart. Morehead State trying to counter. It's a bad first pass towards the sideline. Not much on it. Easy to take away, but now Morehead State gets it back, and they'll push the other direction. Trying to force it through to Pepper, and it's pushed out of play. So SIUE will have a goal kick, or it was
corner.
Deflected.
It was a pass intended for Pepper. Couldn't tell if it was Babb or Zakella who cut that one off. But the deflection out of play means pretty big corner at this point in the game. Limited sample size for Morehead.
7 minutes to play as this corner is taken by Baccaro. One hop through the 6. Oh, not cleared, and now still loose inside the box. They'll bring it back out. Baccaro will just put it in with the outside of the, I should say the inside of the right foot. Easy play for Bozeman.
Again, a challenging position for SIUE to be in, though. Babb had an awkward first touch because I think she used her stomach rather than what she ideally would have used her chest to get that one down. Didn't have a collecting touch. And then SIUE just kind of crowded around so many Morehead State Eagles, holding off what would have been another big goal. But nothing doing there.
Vela had it taken away. DeFini's got it now. DeFini pushing it off to the left for Hauser, who is able to just skate the line on the near side. Hauser puts it back into the box, but nobody's there.
Walton's got help if she turns. That's helpful.
And she'll put it outside. Nice touch outside for Tapek. Molly Tapek trying to cut it back to the top. She'll put one through the 6, and Bozeman will
It's in.
Spill it out on the line. It's out of play for a corner.
Allie Fishering saw it. It just kept staying on the line until some outside influence, the normal grade of a 1% turf field or the wind, either way, forces that one out. And another corner kick here from Morehead State late in this one. Their 5th corner.
Vaquero to take it again. This one to the backside. It was too deep. Came through the 6. It's chased down by Tapek on the outside.
Pepper was the closest one to it.
Vela now. And Vela will send it back.
Emig nearly
Lewis
takes
got a
off the
foot
head of
to it.
DeFini.
This is going to be a foul going in. Foul on SIUE. 4:50 left.
Emig, the one to run a foul there. Feel like she knew it too. She put her arms up saying, "I didn't do anything." That is usually the telltale sign that you definitely did something.
Vaquero will line this one up. We're down to 4.5 minutes to play here in the second half. 3 on the wall for SIUE. This one put to the near post and wide of the near post.
It's a question of what they'd try and do on that set piece. Options were abundant for Morehead. You could play it short up the left side, up and over everybody towards this near post for us on the right side. There were 6 players on the close side of the penalty mark. Or, as we just saw, take a shot on and see what happens.
$3:50 left here in the second half. Naroda trying to force it through, couldn't do it. Naroda for Hauser now. Hauser trying to turn it around her defender. Couldn't get her the first time. That's Hannah Burke.
Hauser turning outside, really didn't have any help up the left side. Didn't have anybody to drop it to either. Fishering would have been the best option, but even she was kind of covered by Walton. Best option there would have been turn inside on the first touch for Hauser. She doesn't. Great turn by Burke.
Not totally clear just yet, and then touched back in by Zakella, the head of Savannah DeFini. Back out to midfield. Walton will chase it down. Walton working against Babb. Walton. She's going to take a shot right to Bozeman. She had room. She had an attacker with her on her left side. 2:40 to play now. Sarah Bozeman gets ready to kick it away for the Cougars.
Honestly, wouldn't have been a whole lot better for Tapek either. Tapek would have had to get it back into the middle. You'd rather have it on your feet just above the 18 than forcing a header just inside the 18 if you're Walton there. Again, no real good option with many defenders in front of you.
Lewis with some pressure. DeFini. Just looking to touch it to Naroda, and it's back over the top as we're inside of 2 minutes left. Fishering's going to have to chase this down, shield it as it goes out of play. Sarah Bozeman will get things started with a goal kick here in the final minute 45 of this ball game. That was Pepper racing after that, by the way, for against Fishering. I couldn't see the number until she spun for me. Turned around so we could see. 90 seconds left here in this one. Still scoreless for now. Fishering over the top. Hauser for Naroda. Naroda lost her footing there. Hauser, meanwhile, just shakes her defender on the sideline. This one stays on the sideline. Fishering puts it over the top. Cougars can't keep it. We're down to a minute to play. This one over the top. It's going to get into the box. Bozeman is there waiting for it with 55 seconds left. Still scoreless. See if Bozeman can get something started with a goal kick or with a punt here. Nothing initially. Tapak brought it down for Morehead State. So we're down to 30. SIUE wanted a foul there, not going to get it. Kumada rolled over after a little possible contacts there. Naroda now trying to pull it through with 15 seconds to play. Naroda again. Can she even get a shot away? Not really. Not much to show for that, and that's probably going to do it. It was cleared out of play, and that's going to end it here. It's a scoreless tie here in Edwardsville, as SIUE and Morehead State will each take a point from this one.
So SIUE will draw even with UT Martin. Those two teams have a meeting in Tennessee just next week. That will be a game to decide who can possibly knock off Southern Indiana. For SIUE, they've got an outside chance at winning a tiebreaker against Southern Indiana, but they would require a Southern Indiana loss and some help at the top of the standings. For UT Martin, they would require the same. Neither of these teams control their destiny to make it into the upper echelons of this OVC playoff for women's soccer. However, they have confirmed themselves into the playoffs.
Cougars and the Eagles all scoreless after 90 minutes today as we put the wraps on a long day of soccer here in Edwardsville. For our entire ESPN crew, for my partner, Daniel Rodier, I'm Joe Pott from Cordy Stadium in Edwardsville, reminding you the final score, a scoreless draw between SIUE and Morehead State. With 1 week to play, there's a bunch to play for in the Ohio Valley Conference with regards to women's soccer. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. So long for just a while.